Hello guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. We're gonna have a very cool painting for today, and it's going to be in black and white. I did film the sketching part of this video, of this painting rather, for a video, and I have posted it on the channel. So if you haven't watched it and if you're interested, you can go ahead watch that. Right now I'm working with some black and white. As I mentioned, it's going to be a black and white painting. I'm going to do the sky a bit darker around the corner, and then I'm going to go ahead and move to the mountain, to the distant trees and the foreground. I try to do less talking, more painting, and hopefully you guys like that format better. So sit back, enjoy, and if you want to try this at home, you can paint with me. I'm going to drop in some indication of very soft clouds. So I'm going to go ahead and use my gray. I'm going to use my gray and some white. Indicate some indication of some movement in the sky. I have a couple of videos on how to paint clouds on the channel using different techniques. Some dry brush, some wet on wet. If you're interested, you can go ahead and watch those videos. So I'm gonna come in with some white, some lighter value of that gray, basically, as the sky is gray. So I took the sky a bit darker on the corners, and we're gonna put the highlights on the right side. Obviously, I'm gonna mist the bottom of the clouds. This is a fine mister bottle, just 2 actuations, you know, not much. And I'm going to go ahead with a soft blender brush. I'm just going to go ahead blend the bottom of these clouds, just like so, almost like, you know, oil painting. We're going to make the acrylic look like oil a bit more. Don't expect, you know, perfect results the first attempt. Sometimes you have to build up. Again, a bit lighter on top to create illusion of some sunlight, whatever, some light hitting these clouds. And the base of them, the base of this cloud is going to be gray. We can go a bit darker in value. And again with the blender brush, just softly blend it. I'm barely touching the canvas, okay? So You don't hear me scrubbing the canvas, barely touching the canvas with this soft blender brush. And we're going to soften these clouds. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and move to the mountain. Now for the mountain, I can go ahead and drop dark all over and then start putting shadow color and highlights the normal way, or the common way I should say, that most people do it. But I'd like to go ahead and do it a bit differently here. And I'm going to break the paint intentionally. Create some misty bottom for these mountains, bring some white. Create some impression of mist at the bottom. You could use a blender brush. You can use a blender brush to just go ahead and tab just like that. Create some mist, or just build it up with the brush. I'm going to show you a bit of the technique that I use, and this is a filbert brush. If you like to use a palette knife, you can do that as well. I'm using the side of the brush, so as I move the brush against the tooth of the canvas, the paint will break and create illusion of texture and details. I'm working with titanium white and ivory black. I'm creating different values. This is the shadow side of the mountain. I can bring a little bit more white into my gray and come up here just like so. Just pull down. Again, you could just bring some black into it. And back to the white. Just changing the colors. And just like so, create impression of a distant mountain. A bit more white for the shadow, for the highlight side, and a bit more grayish tone for the shadow side. And I'm gonna bring in some more white about this area, some more gray, and I'm gonna go ahead, create some mist at the bottom of this mountain. And the way I like to do it, I'm gonna go ahead, hit it with a spray bottle, with a, not an actual spray bottle, but hit it with a mist. Don't throw the spray bottle at your painting. Come in with a round brush, a soft blender brush or a mop brush, and just go ahead and create that mist. You see very misty looking foothills. Now if you want to take it to a next level, you can start working on the mountain and create more texture. You can pick up a smaller brush. If you like to do it over, you can do it again. If you want a little bit more mist, a bit more white maybe here. Same process. Hit it with a couple of mist, just like that. And go ahead and blend it and create that mist. If you have too much paint on your brush, because this brush is going to pick up paint, just clean it. Don't dump it into the water, just clean it with a dry rag and go over the misty area again, circular fashion, pull down. Okay, if in some areas you go too far, like in this area, I'm just gonna go ahead, make it a bit more gray, bring it in, and just go ahead and pull down and tab and go over it, just like that. So you have some soft, misty foothills that almost mimics oil painting. Alright, I went ahead and did the exact same for the other side as this side. Alright, so I went ahead and I finished the mountain, more or less. Now we're going to go ahead and drop in some distant trees. I have a round brush over here. You could use a small fan brush. It's up to you. Just like that, you know. Up and down. Don't make all of them same height. Now I'm going to show you what to do for the bottom of them, just to soften it and create impression of mist. Now with the same brush, pick up some white. Just tap at the bottom of all of these trees that you just created. Pick up your mister bottle. Give it a couple of mist. Small mop brush or blender brush. Just go ahead and tap. And just create some mist at the bottom of these things. If it's too light, you can bring some dark, just like that. And just continue, don't stop right here, just continue, blend it in with the rest of the mountain. Same thing with this. You just have to work a little bit quickly. Because this is acrylic and it dries quickly. And just like that, you can create some misty look. Now I'm going to pick up my liner brush. Just gonna go ahead and do a few touch-ups here and there. If it's too dark, I'm gonna bring in some white. This is just impression of trees. We're not painting trees, just impression of it. Now for these bigger trees, I'm gonna bring in my fan brush, a bigger gun. I'm gonna pick up some gray. Now I'm gonna change the value. I'm gonna go a bit dark. I'm gonna be darker here than there, and this is gonna be a bit darker than the background. So we're gonna play with the values. Okay, so I'm gonna try this. This is good. And I'm just gonna tap like that, or you can just pull it down this way. Again, we are not painting trees, we're painting impression of evergreen trees way in the distance, and this is black and white painting, so we have to work with the values. We're not actually painting mini evergreen trees. Don't try to do that. Just like that, we created thousands, if maybe 10,000 trees, just like that in a second. Just pull down like that. Now for the bottom of these trees, again, the same idea. I'm gonna bring in some white, and this is just a technique I used. There are other techniques to create mist or misty look. I'm gonna bring in my round blender brush. I'm gonna give it maybe a mist. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. Better. If both paints are wet, you don't have to mist it. You know, just go ahead and tap and blend and create the mist. But definitely the mister bottle helps. Not worried about this area, we're gonna have big trees over here. So just like that, with acrylic you can create a decent impression of like a mist or fog at the bottom of your trees. Here we go, another one. No, I'm not gonna mist it because this is wet. I don't need to. I'm not gonna mist it, meaning I'm not gonna use the mister ball. So don't confuse the two mists. We're creating mist, and that's the mister ball. Again, just pull down. Just like that. Or you could just tap this way. I find it that if you just pull down like that, it creates better impression of these trees, but it's up to you. Whatever you do, don't make all of them same height. You're not painting a fence. These are trees, some of them are taller, some of them are shorter. And they're gonna come down here and just vanish magically into these trees over here. And you may have to repeat this process a couple of times until you're happy with the outcome, or you have completely ruined the painting, which will allow you to paint it again and practice more, which is good. And that's your mist at the bottom. I don't like it yet, so I'm gonna go ahead a bit more. This time I'm not gonna go ahead and use the mister bottle because this is already wet. Just clean your brush because this is going to pick up paint. As we did with those trees, just pull down on some of them and tap. So some impression of distant trees. Alright, so I'm done with the trees, the mist. I'm gonna cut the video here. I like to be able to show you most of the things I did here, creating the mist, doing the trees, working with the mountain and stuff like that. So I don't want to do a lot of cuts. At the same time, we don't want the videos to be, you know, too long. Keep the videos short. So we're gonna stop here, and in part 2 you will see the trees and the foreground and the cabin. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for watching these videos. Don't forget to drop a like before you go. I see you in the next video.